Welcome back to Coffee Break with Trail Youth and to this series, Heart of the Home. This is episode 4, and we're going to be talking about the effects of negative labeling. Albert Einstein once said, "Everyone is a genius. If you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life thinking it's stupid." Humans like to judge, unfortunately. If someone doesn't measure up to their standards, then they feel the right to label a person rather than to understand why the person isn't measuring up. And there we are, circling back to not celebrating the differences. Don't write a person off until you get to know them, and that is a valuable lesson that I have learned in my life. I have been judged many times, and I would often think if that person had only sat down to actually get to know me, they would not have said those things. They would not have misunderstood those things. It happens because people like to judge, and I've probably judged other people, and I should have gotten to know them too. There it is. We're humans, not doing the right thing all the time. But what are the effects of negative labeling? Well, according to the website theworldcounts.com, negative labels restrict your potential. If you think you're useless, your actions and thoughts will be that of a useless person. 2. Negative labeling can cause migraines, nausea, anxiety attacks, and stomach aches. I had no idea about that. And number 3, negative labeling is a major contributor to depression and anxiety, and the body lowers its defenses and causes illness. Wow. That's pretty strong. So negative labeling can actually cause physical harm. I think putting negative labels on people could also be considered as abuse and abusive. If you're messing with someone's mind that much, mentally, emotionally, and it turns into a physical effect, I mean, that's abuse right there. According to PsychCentral.com, labeling leads to the lack of self-control. People have trouble making rational decisions, which results in overindulgence and even aggression. So if their self-confidence has been totally and completely destroyed and annihilated, they're going to, they're not going to have the confidence that they need to make decisions. And they're always going to be questioning everything that they do, everything that they say, even everything that they see. So at some point in time, they're not going to be feeling like they can make actual rational decisions. And sometimes they'll end up just giving up, which then would resort in the overindulgence. Sometimes overindulgence is a way that we self-medicate to take away that pain. Another result is also social withdrawal. Here's a random question. Could this be a hidden reason for the lack of hospitality in social gatherings today? Have you heard, somebody talking about the good old days when neighbors would get together, and if they run into each other at the mailbox, they sit and chat, or swinging out on the front porch, and people walking by, and they end up on the front porch talking. There was a sense of being social back in the good old days, so I've heard. And people have commented how over the years that has decreased, and now we rarely have people into our homes or over for dinner. Hospitality is, kind of at an all-time low. We have safe places such as coffee houses where we can meet and we can talk, but to actually invite people into our homes and have dinner and a meal and doing things, it's decreasing. I'm not saying that it's not there. It's just decreasing in, on the low end of the spectrum today. Could it be because of all the negative labels that we're now consumed with, especially with Facebook and social media, always comparing. Oh my goodness, my home's not as nice as that person's home, or I can't cook like this person. Just always this comparison. Again, never accepting the differences, never appreciating the differences, or our, quote, weaknesses. It makes me think that maybe this is why hospitality and social gatherings are at an all-time low today. Just individual gatherings where we're not confident, so used to being judged all the time that when we get home we just want to keep that door shut, pull the shades, and keep the world out. What negative labeling does, it isolates us. Very isolating. So remember, We are uniquely human with wonderful strengths and wonderful weaknesses. And we need to be able to embrace that, celebrate it, and again, look at those things where it's more of opportunities for collaboration. So that way we can be stronger. Don't be embarrassed by it. Just know that you're human, and that's what makes life beautiful. Join us for part 5. So if we have these negative labels, the question is then, how do we keep the labels from actually sticking and affecting us so much? So come back to join us for part 5.